2020 is the worst start of a new decade, and is the worst year people have had yet.
I feel like this year has been the most nasty, disgusting, terrible, frightening year that at least that I've lived.
I hate 2020. This has probably been like the worst year for myself.
That reason is because of COVID-19.
The coronavirus.
The coronavirus.
Or coronavirus.
The virus which came from Wuhan, China.
The coronavirus has hit the UK.
Now to growing concerns about the deadly coronavirus officially hitting the US.
Coronavirus has turned deadly in Australia. We've recorded the first death from the disease since its outbreak 8 weeks ago.
It is now official. Canada has its first confirmed case of the new strain of coronavirus.
Since then up to June, all citizens of the UK had to stay at home unless they were going to Waitrose or other marketplaces, exercising, or they couldn't work at home.
Hello Jack, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm so glad you can come into this interview today.
Yeah, I'm glad I could do it as well.
Okay. So we're obviously talking about the first lockdown that happened back in March. What were you doing at that time?
The weather was good and I live in the countryside, so I did a lot of walking and riding my bike. So I was quite lucky in that sense. I live with my family and stuff as well.
Oh, okay. How did you feel when the Prime Minister announced the lockdown?
It was very weird. It felt surreal for a few weeks at least, but got used to it quite quickly, and it was what needed to be done, I think. Everyone knew it was going to happen.
Did that affect you in some sort of way?
Obviously, like anyone, it probably affected me mostly negatively, but I think it was, I had a better time than, I was quite lucky to be able to enjoy it more than I'm sure some people who lived in like cities and things did, or lived on their own.
Do you think the government could have taken action before they did?
Yeah, I think they probably should have. They'd like to wait until something's a big problem until they actually take action rather than doing things before something becomes a problem. But then they did do things quicker than other countries, so can't complain too much. When
the virus was first announced in the UK, like, what did you think? What was going through your mind?
When it was first in the UK, I think everyone knew it was just going to spread. I don't think there was anywhere stopping it. When it first got announced in like China though, I didn't quite believe that it would actually come here. I thought we'd control it better.
Okay, thank you for attending this interview, Jack. Have a good day.
Okay, you have a good day as well.
Tonight, I want to update you on the latest steps we're taking to fight the disease and what you can do to help. You must stay at home, because the critical thing we must do to stop the disease spreading between households. That is why people will only be allowed to leave their home for the following very limited purposes. Shopping for basic necessities as infrequently as possible. One form of exercise a day, for example, a run, walk, or cycle, alone or with members of your household. Any medical need to provide care or to help a vulnerable person. And travelling to and from work, but only where this is absolutely necessary and cannot be done from home.
Since March, the UK government has added more and more rules for the lockdown, yet numbers continue to rise faster. This was creating more and more problems for the country and the NHS. The lockdown also affected students who were going to take their GCSEs this year.
When I did my mocks, I was getting literally 7, and now I've got nothing higher. I've got 1 6 and 5s, apart from 2 4s, and I was literally getting a 7 and 8.
The government said that all students were to be given their predicted grades from their teachers, including those who took BTEC classes, also leading to students taking their classes online either on Zoom or Teams.
Early trials of the Novavax vaccine in Australia show it triggers antibody levels that are even higher than those in patients recovering from COVID-19.
Now to signs of significant progress for two potential coronavirus vaccines. This is encouraging news. Moderna and Pfizer both started large-scale trials yesterday.
As the first lockdown got lifted, the rules of social distancing were still in place.
As someone who really hoped for things to get better as soon as possible, I must say that I am fed up with this whole year. A lot of people have lost their lives. We haven't been able to see our family and friends either abroad or other parts of the UK. Hopefully by the end of the year or early spring, there's a vaccine that works 100% and the UK can go back to normal again.
Black lives have always mattered. We have always been important. We have always meant something. We have always succeeded, regardless. And now is the time. I ain't waiting. I ain't waiting.
The UK has now entered a 4-week lockdown, meaning that all restaurants, shops and gyms will be closed until December 2nd, while schools and workplaces will remain open if you can't work from home. All we can do to help stop the spread is to maintain social distance from others, wear face covering, wash your hands for 20 seconds, and hope for a possible vaccine by spring or the end of the year.